bothered by people. And then on top of that, there's an underground thing happening because Stretch and Barbito pops off when I'm in high school. When I'm in high school, that's when Stretch and Barbito's popping off. That's when the late night radios is when you're listening to hip hop. That's when I get to start going, okay, my first album was Young MC. And when I tell people that in high school, they're like, yo, that's what you had first. I was listening to this. I was listening to that. And I was like, damn, I was way behind. So then I started doing my homework and catching up and catching up and catching up. And then going back to, public school or elementary school, that's when I started the beating on the table, and we be beating on the lunch tables because somebody needed rhythm while somebody was rapping. And as I didn't have the rapping skills yet. So the cats that did rap, I was just doing the drums. So I was in that circle. So I get in that circle, and when I'm in that circle and I'm beating on the drums, I say, yo, hold up, I think I can do this. I was never thinking about writing. I was never thinking about doing like that part. I was just happy to be there. It's like I feel like I'm in a movement. Then I'm in a school and I'm learning the system, because it reminds you already. And I'm not saying learning the system of the school. I learned the system of how to carry yourself in New York City, or how to carry yourself in the hood, how to carry yourself during this culture situation where we're all going through this cultural phenomenon of the crack epidemic. So you have to learn how to navigate through that, because if you navigate wrong, either two things is going to happen. No, three more. Multiple. There's an infinite amount of things that can happen. You're either on drugs, you're fucking, strung out. You're a person who's living a life with somebody who's strung out, so you can't trust them. So you have trust issues. You're living a place where you can get robbed, or you're going to be a robber. Like it's either, like I said before, sink or swim. So you have to figure out how to navigate yourself. In high school, I started in middle school, but in high school is where it happened. And then in high school is where I got that bug for who I am now. And this is where all of that shit is shaping me to become who I am now.
That's really cool, though. So at that point in high school, you're banging on the tables, you're involved in the movement, and you're meeting all the people Flacko name dropped before. I don't know if you met Penn then. I'm just saying you start meeting more relevant.
No, none of those. So Penn and them, I didn't meet them. Like, it's sad to say. I don't know what school he went to at the time. I figured because he's a best side dude, and all the other cats they was in different areas. I didn't meet these guys until pretty much after I was done with high school. I met him when I was doing marketing and promotions. I met him when I was in the streets. I was so secluded by my moms and my family that I only knew Flatbush, which is where I lived, the little immediate neighborhood, parade grounds and all that other stuff, East 21st, Hawthorne and all these other places. And then I would go to school and I would come back. I wasn't allowed to go explore the whole world like that. So
I relate to that, though. That was a lot like what my high school was like. I wasn't allowed to do shit. Everything was supervised, planned out by my parents. I needed approval to go in. I remember the first time I got to go to a mall by myself with a $20 bill. I was 16.
I know you feel like it was balling when you did that shit, didn't you?
Yo, I was the best. And then my dad gave me a lesson on how I spent the money wrong. But for real.
We didn't have those lessons on how we spent our money wrong. Our lessons was like, yo, did you get in a fight? Okay, cool. Everything was cool. If you got in a fight, did you fight back? That's what our lessons were. Like, we had a different set of lessons on survival and how to get through
my dad's lessons weren't all that great. It wasn't the best. I was not getting the blessed version of these lessons. I was getting a different version of these lessons, I promise you. But I'm hearing what you're saying.
Notes and shit.
And I'm not trying to compare it. I hear what you're saying, and the point you're making is mad valid, and it needs to be said stills, because I don't think everyone is aware that like even having not the best father is still a father, still a presence in your life and whatnot, and that's very valid.